What if I told you your spring garden's success is already being decided right now, before you've even planted a single seed? Sounds wild, right? But here's the kicker. Most gardeners don't realize that what they do or forget to do in these final weeks before spring can actually make or break their entire season. Ever wonder why some people have those lush, thriving gardens while others struggle year after year? Is it just luck, better soil, secret fertilizers? Nope. It's because they're ticking off specific tasks before the rush of spring hits. But here's a question. Are you forgetting one of these crucial steps? Could something as simple as cleaning the wrong tool, skipping one pruning cut, or planting just a few weeks too late actually cost you an entire harvest? And if you think you've got time, let me ask, how fast is your last frost date creeping up? How long do you really have before pests wake up, weeds explode, and your soil's nutrients vanish? The clock's ticking. So what are the 10 absolute must-do tasks to lock in a successful spring garden and avoid those rookie mistakes? Stick around, because once you hear number 1, you'll wonder why no one ever told you sooner. Let's start with something most people overlook, but it might be the easiest win for your entire garden: cleaning and sharpening your tools. Now you might be thinking, how big of a deal can dirty tools really be? Well, here's the truth. Those shears, pruners, and shovels you used last year, they're probably covered in soil, sap, and maybe even bacteria or fungi from diseased plants. Every time you use them without cleaning, you're risking spreading those diseases to your brand new, healthy spring plants. It's like cooking with a dirty knife. No one wants that, but that's not all. Dull blades make messy cuts, which can actually damage plant stems, leaving them open to pests and infections. Sharp, clean blades equal faster, cleaner cuts, which means healthier plants. So how do you do it? It's simple. Grab some warm soapy water, scrub off dirt and sap, dry them well, and disinfect with rubbing alcohol. Then use a sharpening file to bring those blades back to life. A light coating of oil prevents rust. It's a small task, but trust me, it sets the stage for everything else. Why spend time prepping soil and planting seeds if your tools are secretly sabotaging you? Okay, so your tools are clean and sharp. Now what's next? It's time to prune those dead and damaged branches. But why is this so important before spring? Think of your plants like athletes. Would you expect them to perform their best if they're dragging dead weight? Probably not. Dead, broken, or diseased branches don't just look ugly, they suck up valuable energy the plant could be using to push out fresh, healthy growth. But here's the sneaky part. If you leave them, they become an open door for pests, fungi, and rot as the weather warms up. So, now's the time to act. Wondering what to prune first? Start with anything obviously dead, branches that snap easily, look dry, or have no buds. Then look for damaged or crossing branches that rub together. Those can create wounds over time. One quick tip: always cut at a 45-degree angle just above a healthy bud or side branch. This encourages clean regrowth. And don't panic about over-pruning. You're not shaping a bonsai here, just clearing the junk. Healthy cuts now mean less disease, more blooms, and stronger plants when spring hits. Now that you've pruned the dead branches, take a look down. What's covering your soil? Fallen leaves, broken stems, weeds popping up. Time to clear it out. But why bother, you might ask? Isn't that just natural mulch? Well, not quite. Here's the truth. Piles of old plant debris and weeds are like five-star hotels for pests and diseases. Aphids, slugs, fungal spores, they all love hiding in that cozy mess over winter. And when spring arrives, boom, they're already at your doorstep, ready to feast. So grab your rake or gloved hands and remove any dead plant material, old mulch that's broken down, and any sneaky weeds you spot. Bonus tip: if the debris looks healthy, no signs of disease, toss it in your compost pile. But anything suspect? Bag it up and trash it. Don't risk it spreading. And here's another benefit. Clearing weeds early in spring gives you the upper hand. If you let them get a head start, you'll be battling them all season. Alright, so you've cleaned up all that debris and weeds. Now what's stopping them from coming right back? Here's where mulch becomes your secret weapon. But why mulch, and why now? Think of mulch as your garden's protective blanket. It keeps the soil warm when those chilly nights sneak back in, locks in moisture so your plants don't dry out, and most importantly, it smothers weeds before they even have a chance to sprout. And here's a fun fact: mulch doesn't just sit there looking pretty. As it breaks down, it feeds your soil with organic matter, making your plants happier in the long run. What kind of mulch should you use? Wood chips, shredded leaves, straw, even grass clippings. whatever is natural and readily available to you. Just be sure to lay it about 2 to 3 inches thick, but keep it pulled back a little from plant stems. Too close, and you risk rot. Mulching now gives you a huge head start when spring rains hit and weeds explode. Here's a question. Would you cook dinner without checking if you have all the ingredients? Probably not, right? Well, gardening is no different. Before you plant anything, you need to know what's actually in your soil. That's where soil testing comes in. And no, it's not complicated. You can grab an inexpensive soil test kit online or at any garden center. It'll show you the essentials, pH levels and nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. But why does this matter? Because if your soil's too acidic or missing key nutrients, your plants will struggle no matter how much you water or mulch. For example, too much nitrogen gives you tons of leaves but no fruit. Too little phosphorus? Forget about strong roots. Once you've tested, it's time to amend. Compost is gold. Add a healthy layer to boost organic matter. Need more acidity? Add sulfur. Need to sweeten the soil? Sprinkle lime. Taking 15 minutes now to test and amend sets your entire garden up for success. Now let's talk compost, aka black gold for your garden. You might be wondering, do I really need to check on my compost before spring? Short answer, absolutely. Here's why. Over winter, compost piles often get neglected. They sit cold, soggy, maybe even frozen in spots. But spring is right around the corner, and your plants are going to need that rich, nutritious compost to thrive. So, what's the first step? Turn it. Turning your compost introduces oxygen back into the pile, which wakes up all those beneficial microbes. They'll speed up the decomposition process and heat things up again. Use a pitchfork or shovel and mix from the outside in. Next, top it off. If your pile looks a little low or dry, add a balance of greens, like vegetable scraps, grass clippings, and browns, dry leaves, shredded paper. Keep it moist but not soaked. Think damp sponge. Why is this so important now? Because by prepping your compost pile early, you'll have rich, crumbly compost ready to feed your soil right when your spring plants need it most. Now here's where things get fun. Starting seeds indoors. You might be thinking, why not just wait and plant everything outside when it warms up? Fair question. But here's the secret. Starting seeds indoors gives you a head start, meaning stronger, healthier plants by the time spring fully arrives. Think about it. While your neighbors are just sowing seeds, your seedlings will already be growing, weeks ahead of schedule. So, what do you need? It's super simple. Seed trays or small containers, quality seed starting mix, lighter than regular soil, and, of course, seeds. Popular ones to start indoors include tomatoes, peppers, herbs, and even some flowers like marigolds. Place your trays in a warm spot with plenty of light. A sunny windowsill works, but a basic grow light is even better to avoid leggy, weak plants. Keep the soil damp, not soaked, and watch for those first tiny sprouts. But here's the key. Don't forget to harden off your seedlings before planting them outside. Sudden exposure to wind and sun can shock them. Alright, you've got your seeds started, but here's the million-dollar question. When should you actually plant them outside? The answer? It all comes down to knowing your local frost dates. Specifically, the last average frost date in spring. Plant too early, and a surprise frost could wipe out all your hard work. Plant too late, and you'll lose valuable growing time. How do you find this date? Super easy. Just search online for your area's last frost date. Most garden centers or agricultural websites have charts based on your zip code or region. Once you know that date, grab a calendar and backtrack. Cool season crops like peas, lettuce, and spinach can usually be planted before the last frost. Warm season crops like tomatoes, cucumbers, and peppers? Wait until after. Here's a pro tip. Don't leave it to guesswork. Write down exactly when to start seeds, transplant seedlings, and direct sow each crop. Okay, you've planned when to plant. But have you thought about how you'll keep everything watered once it's in the ground? Trust me, the last thing you want is to be scrambling to fix a broken hose or clogged drip line after your seedlings are already thirsty. That's why spring prep starts with inspecting your irrigation system before you need it. Start by checking all your hoses and connections. Are there cracks, holes, or leaks from sitting out all winter? Give them a good stretch and run water through to spot weak spots. Repair kits are cheap and super easy to use. If you've got a drip system, unclog emitters and flush out the lines. A clogged drip line can mean one plant dries up while the rest thrive. And don't forget to clean out your watering cans, rain barrels, and filters. A little gunk left over from last year might seem harmless, but it can harbor algae or bacteria. Alright, your tools are ready, soil prepped, seed started, water system checked. But here's the big question, where should everything go? Random planting might seem fun, but if you want a thriving, low-maintenance garden, layout matters more than you think. Start by sketching out your garden beds. Even a rough drawing helps. Think about sunlight. Tall plants like corn or tomatoes should be at the back, or north side, so they don't shade smaller crops like lettuce or carrots. Next, consider companion planting. Some plants naturally help each other, like basil planted near tomatoes to repel pests, or marigolds that attract beneficial insects. On the flip side, avoid planting crops like onions next to beans, since they don't play well together. And don't forget about crop rotation. Planting the same veggies in the same spot every year drains the soil and attracts pests that specialize in those crops. Rotate families, like moving cucumbers or squash to a new bed. And there you have it, 10 simple, powerful gardening tasks that can completely transform your spring garden before the first bloom even shows. Now let me ask you, which one are you going to take first? Or maybe you've already got a few checked off. If so, awesome. But hey, don't stop here. If you're ready to keep growing smarter, I've got plenty more tips waiting for you. Go check my other videos. And if this video helped you out even a little bit, give it a thumbs up, share it with a fellow gardener, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on more plant wisdom. Seriously, thank you for spending your time with me today. It means the world. Can't wait to see you back here for the next video. Until then, happy gardening and happy prepping.